Hi everyone, this is Will from Will's Study Way. So today I'd like to tell you a little bit about what happened to me today. So first of all, I ordered my books for my adult class and unfortunately they didn't arrive. So as a teacher, you have to be flexible and you have to think on your feet quite often. So I thought on my feet and I decided to do a reading lesson. So I had a 67-year-old lady and a 40-something-year-old lady. So two adult students in my class and in Korea, and I decided to read a story. Now, I'm a big believer in reading. I think it's great for improving your English. So I wanted to do a reading lesson with them. So we read a story. The only story I had that I had two copies of so they could see was actually a Winnie the Pooh book. So if you're not familiar with Winnie the Pooh is a children's book. The main character is a bear who thinks about honey and sleep all the time. And then there are various other animal characters. And there's also Tigger, who is actually a tiger, and he likes to bounce, and he's a little bit happy all the time and very energetic. So anyway, we read a story. We read a Winnie the Pooh story, and at first they weren't very happy because they like to learn new words. They're very keen students. And they were like, why are we reading a children's book? Surely this is for like 5-year-olds. Which actually it was a graded reading book. So it was for beginner, maybe intermediate level, like children. It wasn't for like maybe 5th or 6th grade, maybe. Maybe a little bit younger, maybe 3rd or 4th. But it wasn't for like babies. So, or like early reading. So we read the book and I was amazed because there was so many new words that they didn't know. There were so many different ways of saying things they didn't know. And we had lots of discussion and we actually read a children's book. My class lasted for an hour and 50 minutes. We only got maybe halfway through the book, which I could probably read the book myself in about 5 to 10 minutes. So there was lots of discussion. They were very interested. So I just wanted to share this with you and also tell you that my lesson today is going to be motivated by that. So my lesson today is going to be to read you a story. And I will also give you the script afterwards, so you can practice your pronunciation. You can underline any words that you don't know or any new words for you. And hopefully we can have a little bit of discussion about it in the comments. So yeah, I will read you the story in a second. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so the story I've chosen to read it's called 5-Minute Puppy Tales. So 5-Minute Puppy Tales, as you can guess, is short stories about a puppy or puppies. So I'm just going to read the story for you. It's about 3 or 4 pages long. I'm sorry if I'm speaking quiet, but it's actually quite late and I've got people sleeping in the house, so I have to try to be quiet a little bit. So I'll read you the story and we'll see how it goes. So, a perfect puppy. Polly had wanted a puppy for a long time, so when Mom and Dad said yes, she couldn't wait to get to the pet shop. At the pet shop, Polly inspected the puppies one by one. She wanted to be sure that she chose the right one. After all, her puppy had to be perfect. "That one's too big," said Polly, pointing to a Great Dane. "And that one's too small." She pointed to a tiny Chihuahua. "How about this one?" said Mom, stroking an Afghan hound. "Too hairy." "Well, how about this boxer?" said Dad, tickling its pink tummy. "Not hairy enough." "This one's nice," said the shopkeeper, patting a poodle. Too curly, Polly declared. Another puppy was too noisy, and 2 more were too quiet. Before long, there weren't many puppies left. Polly was about to give up when something soft rubbed against her leg. Ah, perfect, she cried, picking up a small bundle of black and white fur. What kind of puppy is it? Asked Dad. It's my puppy, sighed Polly. It's a mongrel, said the shopkeeper. I think it's part spaniel and part collie. We're not really sure. I don't care what he is, smiled Polly. He's just perfect. I'm going to call him Danny. Danny whined as he left the pet shop, and he whined all the way home. But he stopped whining when he saw the cat. Then he started barking instead. He'll be okay once he gets used to us, said Mom. Polly hoped she was right. In the afternoon, they took Danny for a walk in the park. Polly took some bread to feed the ducks. But as soon as Danny saw the ducks, he started to bark. Then he began to chase them. He didn't stop until the last duck had flown away. Polly was so upset that Dad bought her an ice cream to cheer her up. He's just a puppy. He's got to learn, explained Dad. But Polly wasn't listening. Danny had jumped up and stolen her ice cream. Polly was beginning to wonder if she'd chosen the right puppy. When they got home, Polly decided to show Danny her toys. She was introducing all her dolls and stuffed animals when Danny pounced on her favourite teddy bear. He's got Mr. Fluffy, cried Polly, as Danny raced from the room into the yard. When he came back, Mr. Fluffy was gone. Polly was furious. She waved an angry finger at Danny. You're not a perfect puppy, she said. I don't think you'll ever learn. Poor Danny. He hung his head and slunk away. He hung his head and slunk away under the table and wouldn't come out all evening. Next morning, Polly was woken up by something wet pressed against her cheek. She opened her eyes to see what it was. It was Danny, wagging his tail, and in his mouth was Mr. Fluffy. Danny dropped Mr. Fluffy on the floor for Polly to pick up. Good boy, Danny, laughed Polly, tickling his ears. You are a perfect puppy after all. So, just a quick picture there. You've got Polly, and who's this? The name of the dog? Danny. Okay. So, that's the end of my reading today. So, I will see you all in the next video. And remember, we'll study way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'll see you all soon.